Hi everyone, Enigmistreama here. So I have been thinking for quite some time about the possibility of starting to create some content. I waited it out until this game that we're about to take a look at here came out because I was very, very intrigued by it. I did back this game on Kickstarter, but I don't know a ton about it, so while I did see the updates that came out, I tended only to read the titles and not to delve too deep into it because I wanted to see how this would work for myself. I've been really excited about this game and I've waited for the early access launch for quite some time. So I thought this would be the perfect opportunity for me to, dabble a little bit, find out if I am really liking making you guys some videos. So what we're going to do today is probably mostly going to be focused on creating our character because this game, Book of Travels, it's called a tiny MMO or a tiny multiplayer online game, so TMO. Very interesting idea. I believe there are 7 players allowed on each server, so super limited in that respect. The game is very heavily based on exploration rather than battling and what your normal MMOs would be like. So I'm super interested in digging into this, and there's going to be a lot of RP related content. So we're going to get started today and see where we go from there. All right, so let's take a look at character creation for Book of Travels. So the first thing we have is what's called a form, and it's relatively like a class, the way that you would think about that in an average MMORPG. So a form is a basic wanderer archetype used as a starting template to create a new character. Your chosen form determines a range of options and preset characteristics for your wanderer and can also inspire you to roleplay in a certain way. There are several startup forms to choose from, as well as more unique ones that you may discover and unlock on your travels across Braided Shore. Now, I want you guys to know, I have not looked at these pre me pulling the screen up right now, so I'm going to be learning just as much as you guys are today. We'll see what interesting ideas that they've come up with. So we also have origins. Many different types of people and beings inhabit Braided Shore. Askin folk being the most common, your origin describes what type of people you're related to. Each type of being has its own strengths and weaknesses. We have wind affinity. Every person has a connection to one of the 4 great winds. Affinity makes the cost of skills of that wind less, meaning you need fewer skill points to learn it. Askin folk, descended from the peoples that inhabited the island of Braided Shore since before recorded annals. Your kind is by far the most numerous, naturally adaptive and resourceful. Askin folk have no natural physical weakness or fortitude, but their inherent spirituality makes them able to master the language of magic. Born in a northern wind. You receive a buff on skill checks related to the northern wind with its cerebral, calm, and mindful qualities. So what we're looking at here is the first form, the Rechant. Treasure the measure, the underknown. We have an Askin folk, and they get some talents for mechanical stuff and some social things. Now, for some reason, I've always been really bad at playing any classes that have to do with mechanical related things. I don't know what it is. And I know that I'm looking at this in terms of like a game where you do a lot of attacking, which is not exactly what this is going to be like. But we'll read through everything, see what we've got. So we have the Larker, plays for life in laughter bright. We've got physical and spiritual aspects. We have the Ribbon, magic plain at hearts not feigned. So super magical, spiritual stuff, secondary physical stuff. The Gleaner, quick for the trick, first to the findings. That sounds to me like a rogue-esque type character, social and spiritual, maybe not. The Good Ward, plain and trusted, trail-made child, mechanical and physical. The Dimmed, wisdom wide as sand and tide. The Veiled, soft the stepping, still the gaze. The Mirther, unfettered glee with song set free. So of course, because I play a bard in like everything ever, I heard about this one, and this is kind of the one that I thought about doing, but I want to see them all and see if there's anything, else that I'm super interested in. The Crested, splendor bright, worn clear and light. The Weatherer, scarred and hardy, storm-racked soul. The Mosswalker, deep cleft, bright in small delight. The Enfolder, serve and shine with strength in kind. The Regent, treasure the measure, the underknown. The Larker, plays for life and laughter bright. So we're back in here now. We went through them all. So let's see if this, so this does give us a little bit more information. So Eastern Wind, I don't know, guys, should I just do the bard? I mean, yeah, probably, right? I'm probably just gonna do the bard. That just makes more sense. So let's take a look. Askenfolk Western. Born in a western wind. The western wind with its warm, creative, diffuse, and mystical qualities. That sounds fabulous to me, so let's try that. Alright, so now we have our background. Whether or not it is a past you cherish or despise, your background affects who you are and will influence your future. Your Wanderer's age and gender does not affect gameplay, and it is included solely for any role-playing purpose you choose to pursue when enacting your character. Rural upbringing. Growing up in the farmlands, you learned at an early age how to work the fields, care for livestock, and read the shifting of the seasons. Alright, so your background story and other character descriptions are free for you to write. They cannot be viewed by other players. So we have rural, small town. You grew up in a small settlement, learning to tend your parents' vegetable garden and heed the individual peculiarities of neighboring villages. So I was kind of raised in a small town. I spent half my childhood in a small town and half of it in a very big city. Not a huge fan of small towns, honestly. I'm a big city girl, I can't help it. Urban upbringing. You grew up in a large city, learned the business relationship between trade, craft, supply, and demand, and the many faceted rules of the city streets and alleys. Crafter. Your youth was spent in apprenticeship, learning the trade of your parents. You have a good understanding of the nature of stone, wood, and metal. Mystic upbringing. Your child spirit was open to the mysteries. You spent your youth learning to control your mystic gifts, so that's kind of neat. Ooh, lost memories. This sounds good. You have little recollection of your past, nor how you lost your memory. Unburdened by any dark memories, still you imagine you know something of what it is to be an uprooted tree. I like that one. I like dark and gloomy things, so that might be where I go with that. Illegal. An outlaw. Probably not me. Naval upbringing, a child of a seaborne family. Child of the mountains, tending goats, climbing rocks, exploring caves, and listening to the silent beat of the mountain's heart. Islander, grew up on an island, shore fishing, gathering driftwood, and pondering the mysteries of the tides and the endless horizon. Highborn upbringing, lacking nothing in care and comfort. You have enjoyed a privileged childhood as a highborn, bred to shoulder the responsibility of keeping the secrets of engineering and master iron. Impoverished, like so many other children of destitute or unfortunate, for you going to sleep cold and hungry was the norm rather than the exception. Should you survive, still you survived where many perished. Religious, not really my jam, guys. Born into slavery, you spent your childhood as the property of others without freedom to choose. You took learnings from every encounter. At freedom's door, and for the first time, you now stand ready to make your own life choices. But I think, so I'm gonna go with either crafter or urban. Or mystic. Mystic might be really neat, guys. I can do some spooky mystic stuff. Let's try that. So, we'll go with female. I'm not gonna add any background stuff just yet. I want to see kind of how it feels, how the play. Alright, so personality. Besides being a crucial cornerstone for your role-playing experience, your Wanderer's personality traits will affect a great variety of situations. Positive traits will grant you benefits in certain aspects of your travels and can often, with clever use, be used to your advantage. Your negative traits, on the other hand, may at times disadvantage or hinder your pursuits. All right, so I think, you know, kind of what we're allowed to pick from sort of depends on like what we've chosen. So what do we got here? Practical. You know how to prioritize and disregard useless and unimportant details for the sake of reaching more important goals. You travel faster on roads than other folk. Romantic. You value the twosome ideal greatly and strive to come as close as possible to fulfilling it. You gain more knowledge in parties of two. Passionate. Your can-do attitude towards your companions removes any obstacles in your way. You and your party run faster. That's neat. Peaceful. Guided by your inner compass, you accept yourself and the world around you as they are. When resting by a fire, you gain more energy than other folk. Creative. Yours is an imaginative mind with a knack for finding original ideas to solve problems. You consume less reagents for knots that do not share your wind affinity. So that gameplay effect is not yet implemented. Remember, guys, this is early access. And if you haven't had the time to take a look at the game or read any of the things the devs have posted, they're pretty realistic people. From the beginning, they've said, hey, this is early access, you know, there's going to be problems, please let us know so we can fix them, all of that stuff. So there's definitely some stuff that we don't have access to quite yet. Optimistic. In spite of the odd setback, your heart is committed to hope and progress, so you gain more knowledge than when winning against bad odds. Focused. You are able to fully concentrate on the task at hand. You brew tea quicker than other folk. Gameplay effect not yet implemented. Humble. You appear modest in the way you present yourself to others. You attract less attention from robbers. Gameplay effect not yet implemented. Imaginative. Your soul breathes creativity and inventiveness. You get a notion when Sephra is near. Some of this stuff I have no idea what it means, right? So we're just going to be learning. You excel at managing your energy, and you tend to choose the middle ground rather than all or nothing solutions. You gain more energy from food and drink than other folk. And then bad sight. You suffer from poor eyesight. You can't see collectible glimmering at all. Wow, that's kind of not great. All right, so what do we have here? I really like the imaginative. I don't know what Sephra is, what a Sephra is. I don't know if that's like a treasure or something, but creative is good. I really like it. Of course, it's not implemented yet, but at some point it will be, right? So that's going to fit my character a lot. So imaginative, creative. I think that's going to be it, guys. Imaginative and creative. And then we have, of course, the bad sight. And these are all red, so I don't know if I can do those. Oh, maybe I can. Dependent, you are overly reliant on others to meet your emotional and physical needs. Disorientated, you are prone to losing your bearings and easily get lost. Insecure, you suffer from poor confidence. Well, I'm a bard, so that's not very likely. Negligent, you only focus on keeping track of the most important things in life. Picky eater, ooh, yeah, that could be me. I'm a huge foodie. Refuse to eat anything but the finest fare. You are unable to eat locally food. Shy, getting attention fills you with the dread of embarrassing yourself. Your emote icons are smaller than others. That's adorable. Stiff, your body needs some time to warm up before reaching full capacity. Running ramps up instead of being instant. You have a deep need for connection with others. You will trigger sad emotes at random when there are no folk around to connect with. Oh, I like that. Well, can I do that one though? Will it let me? Yeah, I guess so. Okay. All right, so now we are going to look at the skills. So from what I'm gathering, we have sort of these magical spells that are called knots, and then like teas, which are like your food and drink and stuff. So let's see, there are skills. There are many skills for the newly awakened wanderer to find, learn, and master. Skills are divided into 5 categories: actions, abilities, tea making, knots, and passives. Skills can be found, traded for, or taught to you by the characters and creatures you meet on your travels. You gain the possibility to increase the amount of skills you can have as you gather experience and level up. Before being able to use a skill, you must first learn it and then activate it from your skill book. Right-click on any skill to learn how the skill works. Knots. The tying of magical knots is the most common magical practice in the Braided Shore. The gestures of tying and the final shape of the knot together with the reagents tied into it are what gives a magic knot its power. There are many kinds of magical knots. Their effects are commonly released instantly upon untying them. Knots are also what Braided Shore folk use for writing. It is believed that the knot symbols closely relate to ancient words of making, that together with the properties of plant or mineral reagents is what gives them their power. Alright, that's pretty neat. So almost like scrolls, but it's a really unique idea. Like, I just feel like that would be so cool to be running around with that. Let's see. Teas. Serving tea is a common practice all over the Braided Shore. It is also a craft connected to the mystical arts, and magical tea recipes can be acquired throughout the land. Drinking magical or masterfully prepared teas may imbue the drinker with a variety of long-term effects. Abilities. Skills that require cunning, guile, or survival instincts are your abilities. These are not magical, but may very well mean the difference between life and death on your journey. Passives. Effects that are always active. Actions. These are normal skills that your character can perform, like resting or attacking. These skills automatically come equipped with your character, so you don't have to pick them here. Talents. Your talents grant you the ability to attempt to overcome challenging endeavors on your journey. So from what I gather, endeavors are kind of like your quests. Sociality. This is the measure of your social intelligence, your ability to garner feelings of fellowship from others, to gain their trust, or to manipulate them. Physicality. This is the measure of your physical prowess, as well as your ability to intimidate or inspire by sheer might. Spirituality. This is the measure of your attunement to the spirit world and the strength of your perception into the magical realms. Mechanics. This is the measure of your understanding of mechanical devices and how fluent you are in the language of logic-related subjects. Those are two very different things. I don't know how you feel about that. I feel really logical. Not so much on the mechanical side, though. So my starting skills: align. A knot aligns the world, showing the spirit of the dead for all to see. Glinted lamp. A knot that conjures a mystical lamppost that shines over a place for some time. Conceal identity. Passive. Your identity will be hidden, appearing as unknown traveler to others. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and I guess choose like our talents. So social and sociality. I mean, because I have the spiritual background too, but like I feel like as a bard, I'm probably gonna be starting out with mostly the social aspect of everything. So that's probably gonna be the route that we go. So let's try that. Alright. Oh, I had to pick my skill. So which one do I want? The conceal identity one is kind of weird. Like, first of all, I'm supposed to be a bard, so maybe people should know me, right? I think I'll take the lamp. Let's do that. Let's see what that's like. I mean, I don't know how this game is gonna play, so anything I choose is just gonna be a new experience anyway. So no matter how much energy you put into your own appearance, how you look and how you present yourself plays a big part in how others perceive you. So the eye color of my character determines... Wow, the eye color has like different things. And my voice is used in many everyday situations. You can use your voice call to greet, signal, or react to others using the middle mouse button. So let's see what the eye colors are. We have Char, committed to a life of mastery and dedication. Pale Char, you strive to live a life of mastery and dedication, but not maybe so committed as the other one. Deep Char, you are totally committed to a life of mastery and dedication. Cinnabar, you are committed to living a passionate and vivid life. Ooh, I like that one. You strive to live a passionate and vivid life. Deep Cinnabar, you are totally committed to living passionately. Okay, Cobalt is serene and preserving life. Probably not so much me. Sorry, guys. Committed to living a supportive and adaptive life. I mean, listen, guys, I'll be honest with you. Like, all of my D&D characters are chaotic neutral, so I don't know if supportive and adaptive is going to work for me. Marble. Humility and curiosity. That's interesting. Sulfur. Ooh, wisdom and creativity. That's really good, guys. Oh, never mind. Maybe umber. Living spiritual and imaginative life. Yeah, I think we're going to go with umber. But I'm pretty sure I'm just going to use pale because, you know, maybe I have commitment issues or something, but I feel like I'm always striving towards stuff. I never really feel like I'm quite getting there. I don't know if that's just the perfectionist in me, but I feel like striving is a very good word a good adjective to use for the things that I do in my life. So I'm going to keep it that way. Let's listen to the voices. Probably that one. All right, and we'll go to the next screen, equipment. So you start your journey with a handful of items in your pack and some worn equipment. On your travels, you can strive to get new and better equipment by exploring, trading, and overcoming challenges and enemies. There is no coinage or specific currency to use in Braided Shore. No, so mastering the art of trading will be key to your material wealth. Right-click on an item to see the approximate value and other details. You cannot carry an infinite amount in your pack. Renting luggage space at a Trainmaster stash, available on most train stations, is a good way to store things you want to keep but don't have immediate use for. Stats and equipment. Besides talents and skills, your character also has 4 cardinal stats: Force, Ward, Speed, and Burden. These affect a variety of things and depend primarily on the equipment you wear, but also certain skills and other effects. Force. Force is governed mainly by the deadliness of your weapon. When you engage in a combat situation, force is the stat that dictates the power of your attacks. Ward. Ward is granted mainly by armor and protective equipment. Ward represents how much force you can deflect from an opponent's attack before you start suffering fatal wounds. Speed. Speed is influenced by your burden, as well as effects from various equipment. It affects your stamina and your ability to tie knots quickly. In combat, speed hastens your initiative, and quickness quickens your attack timer, enabling you to reach higher hit probability faster. So initiative, that's interesting. I wonder if they're using like a D&D type situation there. So burden is the antithesis of speed. It makes you slower, increases time to tie knots, and slows down your initiative. Burden is connected to your encumbrance, particularly armor granting high ward, making you sturdy but sluggish. All right, so let's see what we've got here. Starting equipment. So am I just rolling for stuff? Okay, so loose jute roll backpack. From the practical wanderer's travel pack to the bulky shellfisher's basket and the farmer's humble haversack, a well-made carrier is a treasure. Bags and carriers can come in different sizes that determine how many items they can hold. They can also feature 1 or more extra pockets or even store more items. That's a poor one. I mean, maybe they're all going to be poor, right? Because I'm just starting out. Sewer worker's blanket to wrap into warmth or to hide from prying eyes. Blankets come in many shapes, styles, and materials. Leaky Alkin lantern stick, source of light. I kind of like that. So if I roll, is it gonna like okay, it re-rolls like everything I could possibly start with. So torn knapsack, dusty vestment, whether practical or fashionable, affirming wealth and status or feigning anonymity, your dress says who you are, or in truth, who you would like your fellows to think that you are. Frail hemp band is a belt, whatever you need to keep close at hand. Valuables, tools, or weapons, carry these items at your waist gives you instant access. Wet of sack shells. Wet sack of shells. Raw materials are welcome trade commodities. Oh, okay, so it's like things that you can trade. I like that lantern. Can I wait until I get a lantern? A scarf, a necklace. Whether adhering to local fashion, displaying wealth status, or simply as a comforter, wearing eye-catching neckwear is a deep-rooted tradition among Braided Shore folk. Okay, a fan. Threadbare clothing, whether practical or, okay, that's one I already read. And then another knapsack. Ooh, what's this one? Old sputtering lantern. I really liked that staff one though. I don't want to like keep rolling until I get that one. Shoes. Footwear eases the strain on the wanderer's feet, protects the tender toes of workers, and separates the wealthy from the poor. Oh, only one thing there. Worn as symbols of authority, personal style, or simply to keep the head warm, a myriad of variations of headwear, including local and foreign variations, can be found in the braided shore. What happens if I click recall? Nothing? Okay. Because I'm just kind of hoping that I can get that little staff back, because I really liked that one. But I could probably do this for like days without... Darn it. Like, I can't click and choose one, so... It does have a lantern. What did the gloves say? For protecting the hands from the bruises of manual labor or combat, nothing except perhaps magic beats a pair of solid gloves. Bro, I'm so sad that I'm now not gonna get the lantern that I want. Come on, I've had like all the other ones multiple times. You're killing me, game. I know, I'm being picky. I get it. I got it. There it is. Okay, so I guess we'll do this. We got a vest. I should have picked the one that had the knapsack with it, probably, but... You know what? It's fine. I just wanted the staff with the lantern on it, because it looks so neat. Alright. Name. Your given and family names will appear to all the members of any party of wanderers you join. Your name will stay with you and cannot later be changed. Much power lies in a person's true name. Choose it with care. Your nickname is also yours and cannot be seen by others. It can be changed or added later. Well, for those of you who don't know about my actual game name, which is Enigmistrema, this originated from a fun game of Jackbox we were having with a lot of our friends online, and we were trying to think of like fun punny names. And I made mine Enigmistrema, which is essentially a mystery wrapped in an enigma. And I just loved it so much that I ended up using it for pretty much everything. As far as nicknames, what everybody calls me in my Final Fantasy guild is Eni, because my character is Eni, Enigma, and then Mistrema. So it's like half, something like this. Actually, I could use that same name. Let's do that. Will it let me? First name. Oh, no. Okay, so I have to use in-game stuff here. So let's see what we got. Something bardish? Okay. I mean, Jin is actually pretty bardish, but I don't know which one I'm going for. I'm always terrible with names, like, I don't know, it just has to be right, you know? And it takes me forever. Oh, I like that. Let's go with that. Alliteration is cool, guys. Alliteration is cool. Oh, maybe that. Okay, I like this. This is good. This is what we're going with. How did your journey begin? I was on a journey at sea. I was traveling on land. I was captured, or I can't remember. In which region did you start your travels? If you want to begin playing with a friend on the same server, select the same options above. So, I have no idea. What is it going to be, guys? So, I'm a bard-ish, right? I'm a songstress, that type of character. I feel like I was traveling on land. Let's go with that. Let's say east, because I'm from the west, so if I'm traveling, I'd probably go to places that I haven't been before. Alright, here we go, guys. Perfect. Now that Erin is setting off on her adventure, I'm going to explain a bit more of how this video series is going to work. A couple of important things to note here is the game is in early access. There are limitations and plenty of details that will be likely changed over time. That being said, this game is also a very unique experience. It's instinctual to want to hold the game up to our known experiences with various MMOs and RPGs, and that's something that I will likely do often just out of habit, but the real focus here are the differences, not the similarities. There are some divisive reviews out there where players are concerned about the lack of guidance, goals, or pathing. The game developers, though, have said that the game is designed to cultivate a kind of introspective exploration, sort of like a slow experience in a beautiful world without the usual kind of quest experience dynamic. So a video series around this game may feel slow or lacking as a general rule, but my goal here is to create an interesting role-playing experience within my character's exploration, as well as handing out interesting information in the form of text overlays. So this will be in full form on my next video, so make sure to like and subscribe to become a part of Erin's adventure.